What's going on YouTube? Reezonoticz coming at you once again. And like I said, man, I'm going to try to ramp up production on my videos as far as I am able. You know, like I've been saying before, school's got me kind of tied up. So, last night, you guys got a video from me. Just a gaming update on what I've been into video game-wise over the last couple of weeks, months, whatever. Now, we're getting another video. And the reason is because I don't want to, you know, pat myself on the back or anything, but I must be a video game prophet, because I'm sure most of you have heard the news about Nintendo and Universal Studios getting together, and that there will be in the near future a Nintendo themed area of Universal Studios for consumers to visit and enjoy. This is fucking amazing, okay? And the reason I say I must be a prophet, if you guys follow my channel, you know. If you don't and you're stumbling on this video right now, then let me just be the first to tell you, go on my channel, Reezonoticz, and on the 250 something plus videos that I've done, no, I think it's close to 300 videos that I've done, you will see a video called Nintendo plus Disney equals ? Because at that time, when I made that video, there was a lot of discussion going on about, you know, Nintendo and Disney possibly working together, maybe Disney buying the majority shares of Nintendo and taking over or whatever. And I gave my opinion and my thoughts on that particular scenario if it were to go down. Excuse me. Gotta take it back to the old school. Anyways, so I gave my thoughts on that, and I said, because so many people were up in arms, so many people were like, oh, no, Nintendo doesn't need any help, blah, 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 blah. Which Nintendo really doesn't. When it comes to games and the video game world, Nintendo really doesn't need much help. You know, they need to do a few things better here and there, but overall, they're on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? They're making money off handhelds and consoles. Got the most memorable game franchises ever in history. They good. I was like, man, if Disney, somebody like Disney, a mega power like that, would combine with another mega power like Nintendo, the possibilities are infinite. And the main thing that I was concerned about in that video, you'll notice if you watch it, is I said, if something like that were to happen, we would have a real life Nintendo Land. We wouldn't have to put Nintendo Land into our Wii U to experience an emulation or a simulation of a Nintendo theme park. We would have a real live Nintendo theme park. And all of a sudden the news breaks about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year later. Last night, news breaks about Universal and Nintendo partnering up, and in this partnership, there's gonna be Nintendo-themed attractions in not Disney, in Universal. So the only thing that I was off on this is that it wasn't Disney, and I'm not gonna lie, because Universal Studios is awesome. I recently just went to Universal Studios, no lie, less than a month and a half ago for our family vacation. I took my wife and the kids, and we went to Disney, Magic Kingdom, and all that, so that both my sons can have that Disney experience. And we also took them to Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. And when I was walking to Universal Studios, I was like, man, they've redone a lot of this. They're on the come up. Because I remember walking to Universal Studios 3 or 4 years ago, being like, oh, you know, they're never going to change. This is the same stuff. It's outdated, whatever. And now I'm walking to Universal Studios all these years later, and I'm like, yo, the rides are off the chain. Just the whole environment, like, man, we walked through the whole Simpsons environment, and it was like there was a Krusty Burger that we could eat in that. You know what I'm saying? That was awesome. So I'm like, man, Universal and Nintendo partnering up. What does this mean? And then they were specific as far as saying there will be Nintendo themed attractions. Let me just give my thoughts on this so that I can continue to be the prophet. You know what I'm saying? So I can continue to give you predictions, and when they come to you, you can be like, damn, that nigga Reezon, yeah, you got it. Look, man. I said it in that video. What I would see from a Disney and Nintendo partnership, which was being discussed at that time, is, man, a real live Nintendo theme park. You know what I'm saying? So where you can go, you know what I'm saying? And the same way that you go to Disney and you escape from the bills and the taxes and responsibility and all that shit, and we all become fucking kids again and just enjoy the moment. In this Disney world, you're not in real life. You're in Tomorrowland or Fantasyland or whatever, and you're chilling and going on rides with Mickey and Buzz Lightyear and all these dudes. Yo, imagine that for us video gamers. with Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? You would go somewhere to some park and you would have, you know, your kids taking pictures with Mario and Yoshi. Your kids, you know, going on, you know, like the racetrack at Disney, at Magic Kingdom. What about a Mario Kart racetrack? What about going there and, like, you know, like we went to Universal, like I said, a month and a half ago, and they had their whole Harry Potter world set up. And I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I really don't care. But my wife is a huge Harry Potter fan. And to see her eyes light up when we were walking through all these locales from the Harry Potter films, where we took a train from one section of the Harry Potter exhibit or whatever that was in Universal, and took a train ride to Islands of Adventure and landed in the other side of the Harry Potter exhibit that's over there, and just seeing her light up because this was a world she really cared about. These were characters that she really loved. Could you fucking imagine? And I'm sorry because I'm cursing, because I don't care at this point, because I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. Could you imagine, like, for example, me walking in to this theme park, and it's not Harry Potter. I'm walking through the marketplace of Hyrule. And you got all these little shops and all these Zelda-themed things going on. Shops, food, you know, all this. And the Hyrule Castle's in the background. And, you know, there's a Zelda roller coaster that goes around Hyrule and whatever. Or a train ride even, or a horse ride. You get on a horse and it takes you through Hyrule Field or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? A Mario Kart racetrack, like I said. Could you imagine a 3D ride, like a 3D, you know, you sit down, you put the 3D glasses on, like, you know, on all these Universal and Disney rides, and you sit down, and it's a Metroid experience. Or a Star Fox experience. Hey, the possibilities are endless, man. F-Zero. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there's so much there, man. They could even have a little, I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just giving you, like, just different possibilities. They could even have a little water park themed section, wave race. You know what I'm saying? There's so much that they could do here. But I just find it amazing that I was talking about this 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. I mean, back then it was Disney, but I'm like, oh, and I'm not gonna lie, Universal Studios is awesome and they're on the come up, but if it was Disney, it'd be even better because Disney got the pockets. Disney got them deep pockets. Disney controls everything. So if Disney and Nintendo were to get together, it would be Armageddon for everybody. But still, Nintendo and Universal Studios, and having an actual Universal's pockets ain't shallow either. You know what I'm saying? So having that backing and that support, and then having an actual physical location here in Florida, and maybe even in, you know, the West Coast and the Midwest and all that, wherever, you know, they're at, where you can go and experience a Nintendo world for real. You know, go there, pay your money, get in, and you're walking through Hyrule Field. You're walking through Hyrule Marketplace, the Hyrule Castle and all that in the background. You're walking in, and there's, you know, a jungle River Rapids ride based in the Donkey Kong universe. You know what I'm saying? There's so much that they can do here, man. And, I mean, they said it. They said it. The one thing we know for sure, we don't know when. I'm assuming it'll be in the next 3 to 5 years because they got to build all this shit and they got to get it together and all that. I can wait. I'm fine. I'm good. As long as it happens and it's penned in and inked, it's going to happen. They said for sure there will be Nintendo-themed attractions at Universal. My thing is this. That's already a step. That's not even a step. That's a leap. That's a nose first dive into the right direction. We need them to not, for lack of a better word, don't pussyfoot this. You know what I'm saying? Go all out with this. 1 second. Go all out with this. Right? What I mean by that is, like I said, you got the Harry Potter world and all that, which is awesome for the Harry Potter fans. We need areas like that. And man, could you imagine? Could you imagine walking in to the fucking Mushroom Kingdom? Mario rides and exhibits. Mario Kart rides and exhibits. Donkey Kong. F-Zero. Star Fox. Metroid. I mean, there's so many ways they can go with this, man. I mean, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing, like, the Zelda area, and it's like, you know, it's Hyrule. You know what I'm saying? You got the marketplace with all the stores where you can get food and merchandise and all that. Then you got Hyrule Field. Maybe they take you on a tour of Hyrule Field. Then there's Hyrule Castle in the background, just like Cinderella's castle. And you can go in there and walk through it and whatever, and take pictures. And then you got a big-ass roller coaster that wraps around the whole thing, or around at least the whole castle. You know, kind of like the Dueling Dragons in Islands of Adventure. Something epic like that will be the Zelda ride. You know, and then you would go further down the way, and then you'd walk into the Mushroom Kingdom. And you'd have the Mario Kart racetrack, where you can, you know, get in these amazing-looking karts like in the game, and, you know, try to figure out some way to integrate the actual racing, like in the racetrack in Disney, with, you know, like maybe some the touch screen display or something in the carts or whatever, where you could press like, okay, I want to throw a shell, bam, and it messes up the other person's cart or whatever. There's a lot of stuff that they could do here. Not to mention the arcades that they could have throughout this whole Nintendo area with classic Nintendo games from all generations. Yo, this is money. This is money. And this is a long time coming for us Nintendo fans. Just remember and go back into my channel and look at my videos. Remember, your boy Reezon told you first that this was going to happen. Because I talked about this in my video. Like I said, Nintendo plus Disney equals question mark. Because I didn't know what the hell was going to come out of that. Because back then it was Disney and Nintendo talking about it. Well, now we have confirmation, Universal and Nintendo getting together. And this is going down. I mean, and then when you look at what this could do for Nintendo, as I've said before, Nintendo doesn't need any real help when it comes to the video game business. Motherfuckers have been around, video game-wise, for over 30 years. As a company, for over 120 years. They good. But teaming them up with a power like Universal Studios, where you're gonna make a theme park or section off a part of your theme park and dedicate it to Nintendo attractions, Nintendo themed attractions, bringing those characters in there, giving them that much more mass appeal. This can only it profits both ends. That's why it's such a logical and perfect partnership, because Universal makes money off people coming to the park and enjoying their rides, and people do that every single day, all year long. But you know what? If you got Nintendo characters, everybody knows who Mario is, everybody knows who Link is, everybody knows, you know, these Nintendo, Donkey Kong, these Nintendo characters. They're ancient, they're epic, they're fucking immortal. Okay, so now people can come there and experience that. They're gonna pay more money. You can get a lot more flow through your park, so you get money. But you know what? You're gonna also be fucking putting Nintendo's name out there because they're part of your park now, and all of a sudden, as if Nintendo needed more relevance, as if Nintendo needed more advertisement and word of mouth within the video game world. Well, now they're getting it from a freaking source like Universal Studios. I mean, yo, you know, I hate to sound like this because it comes off cocky, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. Look, I'm tired of being right. I'm tired of being right. I'm tired of telling y'all what's gonna happen. And be like, yo, if this were to happen, this will be the result. This is why this needs to happen. And then you fast forward a year or two, and it's like, boom, it's right here. It's happening. Nintendo Land, I never even played it. It just didn't appeal to me. But the idea of it, I said, man, yo, a real live Nintendo theme park. That would be something that, I shit you not, it's a yearly trip. Every year, I'm taking my wife and kids. We going down there, and now it's here. Now it's in the beginning stages, but it's penned in. It's happening. Universal and Nintendo. I'm tired of being right. I'm saying I'm tired of being right. But anyways, yo, that's this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I just felt I had to get on here and voice my opinion about this, because once I heard this news, I immediately flashed back to that video I made, and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, I always thought it made sense and it should happen, but there's so many things in life that make sense and should happen that don't even get close to happening. So when I heard this news, I was like, oh my God. I thought about that video and I was like, I gotta get with my YouTube people tomorrow. I gotta make a video. Nintendo and Universal. This is big, man. This is potentially game changing as far as the console war and all this bullshit. Who's number one and all that. Nintendo locks down a deal with Universal. They were in talks to lock down a deal with Disney before. I think we know who's big. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.